Hey everyone, it's Bob Crossan from Water World and Wastewater Digest. I am joined today by Pat Sinicropi. She's the Executive Director for the WateReuse Association. So thank you so much for being here with me. And
thank you.
Once again, meeting at your WateReuse Symposium.
Thank you
We're
for
here
coming.
in Atlanta today.
Yeah, thank you for coming. It's great to be back with you, and great to be talking to you about water recycling again.
Yeah, well, we are very interested in this topic as it covers both the drinking water side and the wastewater side. There's a lot of complexity involved in that. What are some trends that you have noticed in the past year or so since we last spoke at the WateReuse Symposium last year?
Well, some trends that I've noticed have been stormwater capture and recycling is becoming, I think, something that communities are paying more close attention to, realizing that when we have these large storm events in the middle of a persistent drought, that we have to make every drop count, and we have to figure out how to capture the stormwater, reuse it in an affordable way. So I see that trend emerging. A little acceleration on the potable reuse side of things. People beginning to pay a little closer attention to that development, and to how we can put in place rules to allow for potable reuse to occur in more states around the country. So I would say those two trends have been interesting.
Yeah, well, the potable reuse thing is quite interesting because for so many years it's always been indirect potable reuse or non-potable reuse, more for landscaping and things. So to see that trend starting to emerge and grow is kind of an exciting prospect, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, it is. It is, and of course, we have a long ways to go before we see many more communities having the infrastructure in place, treatment systems in place to allow them to do it. But Orange County, California is unveiling its fully expanded potable reuse system in April. So, and El Paso is going to construction on its direct potable reuse system this year. So we are seeing a few, I think, model showcase projects getting underway in the next 12 months that will likely serve to accelerate other projects, similar projects in potable reuse. So, yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of excitement in that arena.
Yeah, so there's some examples that people can look to finally, right?
Yeah, right.
How is WateReuse trying to capitalize on those trends, the stormwater capture side, that potable reuse side? How are you addressing that in 2023?
Well, we are establishing a standing committee on potable reuse to do a little more deeper dive and deeper work into the policy frameworks that support potable reuse, the funding environment that can help push these projects forward and invest more in them. So we are organizing our team of volunteers to do a little more concentrated work around that issue. So on the stormwater side, we're publishing, I think we're getting ready to publish a profile in reuse, more information, more educational materials around that issue and the opportunities that stormwater capture and reuse provides. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be doing more communications, more advocacy around both issues. And one other trend that I didn't mention is the trend that we're seeing among industry to move toward net water positive. That is something that I don't think we necessarily had too many examples last year when we spoke of companies that are really embracing this concept of positive net water use. Actually delivering water back into the environment, more water than they are pulling out. And I think that trend will continue And we're getting ready we're launching an industrial champion award tomorrow with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Veolia. We're developing that partnership. I think that's going to only move forward. And of course, we already have a committee working on industry partners. So I think you'll see more of that work going forward in the future.
Yeah, that was something that Craig mentioned last year, was the industrial sector being kind of a really big burgeoning market of opportunity.
Yeah.
And so going after that would be like really important for the association as well. What about state of water reuse in the U.S.? Well, when we talked last year, the big talking point was really the funding side of it. Is that still kind of the primary talking point when it comes to state of water reuse, or is it more regulatory, or what are you thinking?
Well, a little both. Communities are always looking for funding. Municipalities are always looking for funding and need funding, need investment to help them advance water recycling systems. So that's a constant. The regulatory landscape is also a constant. We're always monitoring. There are 51 states that all have different regulations on the book when it comes to recycling, and so we're always tracking that. But we're also, I think, we're here in Atlanta, 750 plus people gathered. About 60% of the participants here, I think that is a correct statistic, I'll check on it, but 60% of the participants here in Atlanta at the Reuse Conference this year are east of the Mississippi, come from places east of the Mississippi. And so I think that's remarkable because, when we've grown up as an association around the western states. California is our base, Nevada, Colorado, Arizona. But we're really now seeing recycling take hold much more deeply on the eastern seaboard, and that's, I think, fascinating to watch, and I think that's only going to continue. So, yeah.
That is really fascinating, and it just goes to show you that water scarcity isn't a matter of quantity, it's also a matter of quality, right?
Of quality and management. Right now in the east, we haven't had snow in the east most of this winter. It's been quite bizarre for those of us who are used to at least a few good snow blizzards, and we haven't had it all winter. And so I think people are beginning to, recognize that scarcity, supply issues, quality issues certainly are struggles that everywhere in the U.S. we're experiencing, and water recycling can offer solutions to address all those issues.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Pat. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me again.
Yeah.
For everyone who's watching, definitely check out our video description below. We'll have some links to some resources from WateReuse Association, as well as our interview from last year, so you can see how things have changed over time. And once more to you, Pat, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Bob.